Well, hey there, fabulous authors. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to welcome you back to RTTV. Today we're talking all about how to repurpose your social media content. And this is so important because when you are creating this content, you are taking a lot of time, putting a lot of effort into it, and you want to be able to extend the life of it so that you are not constantly having to recreate new stuff for your fans. So instead of creating something new all the time, every day, creating new content, we are going to talk about repurposing the content that you are creating in new, unique ways, kind of putting a spin on it so that you can reuse the same thing over and over again in new ways to reach new audiences and still make it seem like that you are putting out brand new, really valuable content for your fans. So today, let's talk about repurposing your social media content.
Welcome to RTTV, brought to you by Reading Transforms, with your host, K.M. Robinson of K.m. Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms. If you look to the right of your screen, you will note a chat box. We encourage you to ask questions and comment throughout the show. Our moderators will be watching the feed and collecting questions for our hosts to answer during the end of the broadcast. Use the red question mark tab to differentiate your questions from your comments in the feed. If you are a member of our Facebook community and our weekly newsletter, your notes will be emailed to you shortly. Make sure that you are active this week in our Facebook community for deeper insights into how to apply this into your marketing strategy and for ongoing support. Welcome to the weekly live broadcast that will revolutionize your author branding, book marketing, and social media marketing strategies.
So if you've been following us on Reading Transforms, you know I talk about repurposing content all the time because it saves you so much time, so much energy, and it makes sure that your content is seen by new people. I love this because it gets your content out to more people, and you get to put these unique twists on it that make it seem like it's brand new, or you frame it in a different way, but it does not cause you the stress of having to create new content every single day or every couple of days. It saves you so much brain power, and I love repurposing content. So let's talk about social media just a little bit. We know within the social media algorithms, they value text the lowest, then photos, then video, then live video. And this is important to know because this is how they determine what they're going to show to your fans. So if you're posting words like text, that is going to be shown to a couple people, but people because people don't really care about your words. They just kind of scroll through things. When you are posting photos, they will stop to look at your photos, but it's only a momentary pause before they flick through it and keep going through their feed because they have already digested all of that information within your photo. Video is next because people will stop to look at your videos and they will watch a few seconds of it to determine what it's about, if it's worth their time, and if they like it, they'll continue to watch it and they'll stay on it and they will potentially interact with it. And live video is ranked the highest because more people stop to watch people in live video during those live moments that they are on air for videos and photos and text posts. So you want to be taking advantage of video and live video and photos within your author brand. So we know it's really important to kind of use these within your marketing strategy so that the algorithm system rank you higher, and when they rank you higher and when they rank your content higher, they show it to more people organically. It means you do not have to pay for as many ads. So the better content you can put out there and the more people interact with it, the higher it's ranked. Now, on that note, let's talk about, we know with social media, people need to be interacting on it for those social media algorithm ranking systems to determine that it is valuable. So if you are getting likes, if you are getting comments, if you're getting reshares, retweets, regrams, if you are getting reactions, all of those things are important to the algorithms. In fact, they are so important that Facebook just announced that they are now ranking reactions higher than likes. So reactions are those little emoji icons, the happy face, the sad face, the angry face, the whatever faces that people can click on to say how they're feeling about something. And that is now being ranked higher than just likes. So if you want your fans to help raise your standing up within the system, tell them to give you reactions over likes. They can send you those smiley faces, crying faces, or whatever faces there are. Those are going to help you more than if they just liked your content. Now, if they comment, that's going to be ranked higher. So you want to get that involvement. So the more you can get people to interact with you, the higher you're going to be ranked, and the more the system will show people your content. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about what you need to be doing with your content. Now, if you are creating content in one platform, you'll be able to reuse it on other platforms. And things like photos and videos translates pretty well. So if I post a photo to Facebook, I can also post it to Instagram. I can also post that to Twitter. If I post a video on Instagram, I can take that, post that on Facebook, I can post it on Twitter, I can put it on my YouTube page. Those are pretty, easy things that kind of work together with each other. You can translate that through all the social media platforms, but there are certain things that you can't do. For example, if you just have a text post, you cannot just put text on Instagram. You would have to attach a picture to it and then put your text in the comments. Twitter limits you to 140 characters. So whatever you're putting on Facebook, if it's longer than 140 characters, you cannot put that on Twitter unless you shorten it. So we have to be aware that some content is not going to translate super easily, but that does not mean you should not use it on the social media platform. So let's think this through. Instagram has recently debuted their albums, which is amazing. If you've not been following me on Reading Transforms during our hiatus, you need to go back and look at albums, because albums are the best thing since Instagram stories. I'm so excited for albums because it lets you put a series of 10 photos up in one album, so that when people are scrolling through their feed, they're not seeing 10 of your photos, they're seeing the first photo, and then they can swipe through and see the rest of your images. I am teaching over at Reading Transforms people how to take advantage of the album system, because there are so many reviews. If you check out my author platform at k.m. Robinson Books, you will see I've been implementing this very strongly within my author brand, and I highly recommend this to my authors. But that doesn't necessarily translate very well into some of the other social media platforms. So let me put it to you this way. We've got an album, we've put it up on Instagram, you have 10 images or up to 10 images. What do you do with that to get it on your other social media platforms? It's a little hard, right? But there are ways to use these photos in this album on your other social media. So yes, you could do a Facebook album, but it's not as effective. You could post them individually on Twitter, but again, not as effective. So you have to find some kind of way to kind of do something to get it out there on your social media in a way that fits with the platform. So I would not take an Instagram album and just post it in a Facebook album. It just doesn't translate well. You can, but it doesn't translate well. It's got that weird feeling like when people sync up their social media platforms. So they post on Instagram, but it also posts to Twitter and it also posts to their Facebook page, and you know it's from their Instagram page, and you know that they're not actually in Facebook as it's posting on Facebook. It's kind of feeling a little weird. It's a little bit of a wall because they're clearly not in that particular app. So you kind of have to work within those apps. So how do you do albums and translate it into something else? Well, if you've been hanging out with Reading Transforms, we are about to debut our on-demand trainings, or our mini trainings. And one of those is going to teach you how to take that Instagram album and turn it into a video, which you can then use on your other social media platforms. It's really amazing. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend it. But you have to be aware that some things are not going to translate super easily over to other platforms. And then you have to get a little creative. And that's where this repurposing comes in. So let's say you've got a gorgeous picture of your book that you've put on Bookstagram for Instagram. So you have this gorgeous stylized book picture. What are you going to do with it? Well, you could pop it on Twitter. You could pop it on Facebook. You could pop it on your blog. Cool. What else can you do with this particular content? You've already taken this picture. What can we do with it? Take this book, different, unique way to put it on each of my social media platforms. So it's already on Instagram. We don't need to worry about that because it's a Bookstagram picture. Maybe I want to put it on my blog. Well, what am I going to do to make it different and unique? I will put it on my blog. I will put that picture on there, and maybe I'll use it as a challenge. So maybe I've got a lot of things surrounding my book, and I'm using it as a connection image. So I pop it onto my blog. This is the connection image. What does this particular item have to do with my book? And I will break it down and describe how everything is connected to my book. Or maybe I stylized it super pretty. I love how I did it, and I want to do a tutorial on how I designed that particular image. So I will take that over to my blog. I will post the picture and break it down, why I styled it around the particular objects that I was putting, how I can stylize my book for more Bookstagram images, and give my fans ideas on how to stylize my book. When I educate them through my blog and I teach them how I did this, it shows them how they can do that too. And when they do that, they're going to get those beautiful pictures for you and for other authors. They're going to put those on social media, and then they're going to tag you. And that's better marketing for you. So you've just taken a picture you've stylized specifically for Instagram and translated it to your blog in a new, unique way without having to create a whole new picture. Now, let's say you do something over on Facebook. You create a gorgeous video over on Facebook. In fact, maybe you've done a live video over on Facebook Live. What are you going to do with that footage now? Well, if you've been following Reading Transforms, we have tutorials on how you can actually download that footage and repurpose it over to your YouTube page, over to your blog, over to your website. In fact, you could even use little clips of it on your social media. So let me break this down for you. I do live broadcasts on Facebook Live all the time. When I'm done, I go in, I edit it up so that it's nice looking over on my Facebook page, but I also download that footage. I then take that footage, I put an overlay over my YouTube page. So now I've got that same video in a slightly different format because I have edited it just a touch so it's a little more professional looking, and then I pop it on my YouTube page. So now it's living on my YouTube page and my Facebook page. But I don't leave it there. I then grab that video link from YouTube and I embed it into my resource blog or my author blog if we're talking about my author stuff. And I write a blog post about it. So I break down what I was talking about, whether it's a Reading Transforms tutorial or some kind of behind-the-scenes thing for my author brand. And I break it down into a blog post. So I talk about what I did in the video, but I do it in words. Sometimes I add in extra content, little exclusive bonus features. And sometimes I will kind of redirect. So I've actually taken my tutorials from Reading Transforms and I put them on a blog post. My example from I pop that into my Reading Transforms tutorial. So if I did something really cool in my author brand and I turn around and immediately turn it into a lesson for Reading Transforms, I show both videos within that, and I've just repurposed both of those videos as a tutorial so people can see what I'm doing. Video that was originally a Facebook, and I can use it within my website, so I can put it up on my website for people to see. I can also take that footage and clip it up into little couple seconds to 1 minute clips, and I can do a teaser clip over on Instagram, which I frequently do on my social media. If I have a new video out or if I have some kind of new resource article out, I will tease that over on my other social short clip, and I'll put it on Instagram. I will put it on Twitter. Occasionally, I even put it on Facebook after I wait a little while to tease that episode again or that particular video again. Your goal here is to repurpose it. So take whatever it is you're doing and put a spin on it. So if you are creating something for Twitter and you want to reuse it, remember you've got 140 characters, you have the ability to use some hashtags, you've got the ability to use some photos, you've got the ability to use videos. Whatever you are posting on there, take it and use it somewhere else. So let's say you have taken a poll on Twitter. So you have a question about something you want to know, someone's story or about a character or about what you should be writing or about whatever. Maybe it's just a question about the book world at large and you wanted to know the answer to it. When you're done, take those results, maybe take a screen grab of it and jump over to your blog and then write a blog post about it. What the people's reaction was, what your response to it was, how you feel about it, and then ask some questions. Because remember, when you're asking questions, people are far more likely to answer you, which means having a conversation with you, which means you get to talk to these fans, which is your ultimate goal here. So take that poll and put it on your blog and ask for opinions. Or take a screen grab of it, put it on your Instagram, and find out what your Instagram fans have to say about it. They will answer you in the questions. If you say, I took a poll over on Twitter, what do you think of it? They will talk to you for that. You can put it on Facebook. You can do a Facebook Live about it. So you've taken your poll, you've got your answers, you want to talk about it, jump on Facebook Live or Periscope or Instagram Stories or even Snapchat and talk about the results and how you feel about them. Now that brings up another point, Instagram Stories and Snapchat. Totally love them because this is micro video that disappears after 24 hours. If you do not want it to disappear, if you want to extend the life of it, save the video. We've got tutorials over on Reading Transforms about how to do this. You save that content to your phone, then you message it to yourself, then you turn it into a video which you use on YouTube, which you use on your website, which you use on Instagram, which you use on Facebook, which you use on Twitter. I think gosh, that was confusing. Sorry. But you want to save that micro video within Snapchat or within Instagram stories and use as a video. If you check out Reading Transforms, if you check out my author brand, K.m. Robinson, you will see that I take my Instagram stories that are good, that are lessons, that are mini tutorials, that are fabulous things that aren't just kind of me chatting, and I use those within my YouTube page, and you can do that too. It's really important. Forgive me, I'm still suffering from allergies here. So you need to be repurposing this content, whether it is your Snapchat, which you can save, your Instagram stories, which you can save, your Instagram albums, which you can turn into video, turn into blog posts, or you can turn into albums on Facebook. They are your Instagram pictures and reusing as something over Facebook or your whatever. It is your blog content. Let's talk about that one. We didn't talk about that one. Let's say you write a really good blog article, whatever it's about, your story, your author journey, whatever. You have some really good responses to it. That says that you need to be making a video out of it. So jump on Facebook Live or jump on Periscope or jump on Snapchat or Instagram stories and do those micro videos and talk about that blog post. I want to see you talking about what you're talking about in there, talk about people's responses, or give a little bit more. So a behind the scenes look at one of your brand new characters from your brand new book, and you told a little bit about them, but now, because you've had a really good response, you want to jump on your live broadcast and give a little bit more. Now, just because you created that particular content does not mean you have to stick with that particular content. So if you've done something really, really cool, you can extend it and just use bits and pieces from the original and add a little bit of extra so that it's new and unique. So it doesn't matter if you are changing the format or if you are adding on content. Your job is to repurpose this. So whether you have created a blog post and then you want to do a video with exclusive content that is connected to it but not the same, you still repurpose that content. You can refer them back to it. You can refer back to the video and cross-promote all sorts of fun things on your social media. Or you can change the format where you're taking your Instagram albums and turning it into a video for Facebook. You want to make sure that you are extending the life of your content. So when you are taking the things that you're doing and you're putting a new unique spin on it, that is going to save you a lot of time. Because let's say I've created one really good piece of content for my week. I've only created one thing. I don't need to think of 5 other things to be putting out throughout the course of the week if I can repurpose that first one. So let me give you an example. Over in my author brand, weeks I have been doing Instagram albums. So I did a character introduction timeline album, which I was really excited about. And I put that on Instagram first. I then took that content, turned it into a video, and put it on Facebook and YouTube. Then I went cast where I got something new about that particular character that I introduced. And then maybe I gave some hints out on Twitter. And then maybe I took a fan art picture of my character and I put that on Instagram with some more facts, or I referred them back to my Instagram album. And then maybe I wrote a blog post where I connected all this stuff, said how it all tied together, and then linked back to everything. That just took me the entire length of week, and I only did one thing that I then tweaked and turned around a little bit to add all those extra things in. And you can do that too. So let's talk about how you can do this in another way. I recently developed a tee for my brand new book, which comes out, in just a couple of days, a couple of weeks. My book comes out March 28th, so I hope you'll grab that. Golden by K.m. Robinson. Shameless self-promotion there. But I got a tee that was designed specifically for my book. It was designed by a lady who designs tees, and she did it to represent some stuff that was happening within my story. So here's what I did. I got a hold of the tee. Well, even before that, I started teasing it on my social media. So there's one way of doing it. I started talking about a tee, told them it was coming. When it arrived, I did an unboxing. So I opened it up and I showed people what it looked like. It was really cool. When we did it live, people got to see it, and then people were really interested in it. Then I turned around and did a photo shoot for it. I put that photo shoot out on Instagram in an album where I talked about the tee. I had a picture of my tea, then I broke it down. What's in the tea, how it's connected, how you use the tea, where you get the tea. All of that was in my album. I then turned around and put pictures, different information out on my social media. Then I set up my sales card on my website so that people could buy it. Then I sent it out in my newsletter. I did pictures, I did all sorts of things, I reposted things, and I led them back to that original album, to my videos, to all the things about my tea. All of that content came from one little bag of custom, and it took me like 2 weeks to go through this process. I did not have to come up with extra content because I just kept talking about the tea in different unique ways. So if you can repurpose your content, if you can take whatever it is that you're doing and repurpose it, whether it's repackaging it so that there's some twists on it, or whether it's doing an extension of it and adding some bonus content in there that's exclusive from what you originally did, you need to be repurposing it because it saves you time, energy, and you don't have to think of new topics. As far as Reading Transforms goes, I tend to go with weeks, or at least lately I've been going. So recently, not too long ago, we did our Contributors Week over at Reading Transforms, where we talked about how to become someone who is able to use Facebook contributors on the Facebook Live platform. Now, Contributors is amazing because it lets other people go live on your page on your behalf, and it gets your ranking up. If you have not watched that series of videos, really, and go watch it. It is that valuable to you. I use it. My authors use it, and it has gone so well. They've seen such success from it, and it's raising up their ranking, which means it's showing it to more people. So what I did was I took that one topic, and for 2 weeks, that's all I talked about. I broke it down, and I did different articles on it. 5 ways that, was it 5? I think it was 10. I don't know. 7 ways? I don't know. 7 ways that authors can be using contributors. The next day I did an article of 7 ways that publishers can be using contributors. Then I did how to run a successful contributor broadcast. And then I did how to do a fan takeover through a contributor's broadcast. And for 2 weeks, I did nothing but talk about contributors. I went on podcasts for people and I talked about using contributors. Everything I did was focused on contributors. So it was one topic that I taught one way, that I showed how to do one way. There's only one way to do contributors. I broke it down into different steps on how to do these different things. When I broke it down, I had different videos, I had different resources, I had different tutorials. I then took the content I was talking about that particular day and did an extension over on Facebook Live. So if I was talking about 7 ways that authors could be doing contributor broadcasts, and that was my higher end professional video for the day, I then jumped on Facebook Live and I did an extension where I said, find these people to come and be contributors on your page. A breakdown of how that worked within those specific pages and how you can get people as an author to come on your page and do that for you. I just repackaged what I was saying. So every day I was teaching the same type of lesson. I just found a new spin to it. I put a new unique twist on it. Same topic, same basic language, same basic principles. This is how you do it. This is how you run it. This is the way it works. And I just spun it a little bit to fit different types of topics. So different people, different topics. I put that unique spin on it. But for 2 weeks, I had tons of content, all the same thing, and I did not have to rethink any of it. I just had to put a unique spin on it. And you can do that as well. So here's the deal. We're going to take a couple of questions now. I want you to jump over to the chat box. You know, chat box to the right. Go ahead, pop your questions in there. You can use that red question mark for me. I know some of you have done that already. That just helps me to distinguish who is chatting and who is asking the actual questions. So you can go ahead and pop those in there. Now I'm going to let you know that I do have a little freebie bonus for you. So you know I love doing my freebie bonuses. Absolutely love those over at Reading Transforms. And I have a really great one for you this week. It is a checklist for you to help determine how you can repurpose your content. Because I know I'm saying a lot of really great things about what you need to be doing, how you need to be doing it, how you can take these different things and use them on different platforms, but this is going to help you organize how you're doing that, to process it a little bit more, to kind of figure out how many different platforms you can use it on. So can you take this particular blog post and use it on all of your other social media? You're going to be able to figure out how you can use it, where you can use it, and why you can use it on that particular platform, and how you can do it without stressing yourself out or getting overwhelmed by how much you need to do to tweak it. So you can get that by jumping onto shownotes.readingtrans. That'll kick you over to our weekly show notes newsletter. Every single week I am dropping these new freebies, some exclusive beyond content. That was not the word I was looking for, but extension content. And every single week I'm dropping that in your inbox. And then we're doing some stuff that I do not get to talk about on the show. I'm answering questions. It's really awesome. shownotes.readingtransforms.com. That'll be in your inbox tomorrow. And you can have access to all of our back episodes. So if you're watching our rebroadcast and it's like months from now, you can actually still get your hands on this. So do not fear. Shownotes.readingtransforms.com. That is in the chat box right now or down in the show notes below. You can join us. And when you do, you actually get a free how to market your book creatively and effectively even when you're flat broke. Wow. How to market your book creatively and effectively even when you're flat broke, which is 20 cost-free ideas for marketing your book. Won't cost you a cent. And then I've got a bonus in there that is 15 totally cost-free prize ideas for when you're doing events or giveaways. So you can get your hands on that, plus the freebie from this episode, plus the freebie from all of our other episodes. So I hope you will join us. Shownotes.readingtransforms.com. I'm going to grab a drink, pop those questions in the box, and let's answer. Okay, so let me see. Shelly would like to know, is it easy to repurpose Twitter content? How can I be doing this within my own author marketing? Good question, Shelly. So Twitter is interesting. Twitter is 140 characters where you can put things like polls and you can ask questions, but it is very limited with the amount of space you get. So we know with social media, Twitter, you get 140 characters. Instagram, you get 89 characters before it truncates it, and they have to click to read more. Facebook does not limit us in how much we can post, but it does kind of shorten it, and you have to click see more to read more. So Twitter is unique in that you don't get a lot of space, and it really does limit you. So it depends on what you're doing on Twitter. If you're just having a conversation on Twitter, so if you're just talking to people, you don't need to repurpose that content. But if you're putting something out there that is meaningful, you can absolutely repurpose that. So let's say you've asked a question on Twitter, and you want to know how many people like sci-fi young adult novels. I just made that up. But you've asked that question and then you're getting responses. What you can do through those responses and see what people have to say after you've used the hashtags and people have found you and they've had conversations with you, you can turn around and write a blog post about that. Or you could use a live video or a pre-recorded video and talk about that. Talk about what you asked, talk about how people responded. If they're okay, you can quick ask them first. We don't just quote people without asking. But you can kind of paraphrase what they've said. So if somebody makes a point, you can paraphrase what they've said without using their name. That's fine. But if you're going to use their name, get permission first, please, and do not use their exact words without their permission. But you can then turn it into a blog post, or you can then turn it into a video, which I love. You can also Instagram stories and Snapchat with it. So if you have like a short question you've asked on Twitter, jump on Instagram stories and ask the same thing, and then give some of those responses that you got and ask what people think. Let them know they can click on the send message button and then respond to you through a direct message, and you can get more of a conversation going. So you can absolutely repurpose Twitter. It's just a little bit harder because it's so much shorter, and you don't really get to put a lot of super awesome content out there. But Twitter is really good for repurposing content. So because you have active links in Twitter, you can take your blog post, have a new comment or a new tagline on it, and post that link so that'll send them over to your blog. Or you can post short little videos, or you could post photos, or you could post polls. Now, Twitter is really great about polls. I do like doing or having the option of doing polls on Twitter. So you could check that out. You can use that to get more information for yourself and then repurpose that. But Twitter is really good in the way that you repurpose things. So you can take your content from the other social media platforms and bring it to Twitter. And that works really well. That's because it gets out to a lot of people, and they really value is over there. Now, Instagram values hashtags too, repurpose in the way that you could Twitter as far as bringing those links in. So Twitter is great for repurposing, but you can also repurpose from Twitter. Let me see. How do we go about making these videos for repurposing? John, that's a great question. Most computers at this point have a program where you can create videos. So you can take content, could put slides on there and put words over it. You could put words and you could do a voiceover. You could repurpose your live video broadcasts. Pro tip here. If you're using Facebook Live, it will save it within the Facebook app and the Facebook page, and you can go in and you can actually download it from there. Or you could save it directly to your phone. So after you live broadcast, you save it to your phone. So you could do it either way. I do believe Periscope. Wait, does Periscope? I don't know. I haven't used Periscope in a while. I kind of transferred over to Facebook Live. But most live broadcasts allow you to save it. So be aware beforehand if you want to save something, save it to your phone, save it through the website. Just make sure you know where allows you to save it and where it doesn't. Definitely, I'm aware that you cannot really save video from groups within Facebook, because I definitely keep jumping into my Facebook groups and I'm like, I'll just pull the footage later. No, it doesn't work that way, boo. You gotta save it to your phone or you'll lose it because you don't get to pull it out of a group. That's not the way it works. But you can within your pages. So use pages if you're doing videos and you want to save them. It just saves so much effort. But you can turn all sorts of things into videos. So you can do visuals with voiceovers. You can do visual with text. You can do visuals with, I don't know where I was going with that. Visuals and voiceovers, visual and text. You can do text and voiceover. Or you could just do you talking to the camera. So there's lots of ways that you can use video. I've got tons of resources and tutorials over. You can definitely check that out, John. That's definitely going to help you. I'm not going to get into a ton of that now because we have our fear-free filming course. We've got all of our tutorials and resources. So check that out. www.transforms.com will definitely help you out. So we are wrapping this baby up. Let me take a look at one more question, and then if you have more questions, feel free to send those to me. You can message me, send me an email, info@readingtransforms.com, or hit me up on any direct message through social media. I will be happy to do further tutorials for you, resources, articles, videos, all sorts of things. So let me know what you got. I love the idea of repurposing your albums. You said you had an on-demand mini train to that. Karen. Thank you for asking. That is going to be up a little bit later this week. I'm really excited about it because we are starting these on-demand trainings at Reading Transforms. So, you know, I do my live broadcast on RTTV. I do live broadcasts on Young Adults Edition. I do live broadcasts on Facebook Live. And then I have my master classes and my webinar. I am here. I live question and answers. But I do not want to just limit you to those things as far as my broadcasts like this go. So I do have some on-demand trainings where you can jump on and watch them just about any time. There are set times throughout the day. So you can hit it at the top of the hour, I think like 4 times a day. You can have access to it. And usually, I think that's what it is. And you can get access to that just about every day of the year. There are some days that they do not let you have access to because it kind of works like a live training, except it's just you in the pre-recorded version of me. So our very first one is going to be all about Instagram albums and how you can create those and how you can repurpose those. And specifically, it's not about albums in general, but specifically it is about how to create a character introduction timeline. So those things I've been doing on my own author platform where I introduce a character to you and talk about who they are and give them a little bit of a teaser with their backstory. I teach you how to make those. And I teach you how to repurpose those as videos. So that will be available to you as Set It Live. I'm currently editing that video, so it is recorded. It's ready to go almost. I have some editing to do because I do it with slides. So this one, for this particular training, it's a slide deck and my voice over it. So I pre-recorded that and I'm just editing that up, and then you will have access to that pretty much on demand, and we've got a whole bunch of them slated to come up in the next couple of months. I'm really excited about it, so if you've got something you want to see on demand, let me know. I'll make a tutorial. It'll be awesome. And then I always have some extra things at the end of those. So whenever you are watching one of those broadcasts, those on-demand mini trainings, there's some really cool, fun stuff at the end. You want to hang out for those because they are amazing. So those on-demand mini trainings are coming in the next week or so. And then over the next couple of months, I've got some really cool ones coming. Make sure you check those out. I will give you all the information on social media once those are ready to go. But that is really going to help you. I hope you'll check it out. All right, so I am done. We're going to wrap this baby up. If you have loved this, that bonus freebie is coming out tomorrow in the show notes newsletter. Make sure you sign up. Show notes.com. You will have access to all that fat. And then you can jump on to www.readingtransforms.com, where we have access to our online communities, our online courses, our resources, our tutorials, our articles, our videos, and the amazing projects that we're working on over at Reading Transforms. You can also jump into community.readingtransforms.com, which will kick you over to our closed Facebook group. I'm in there every single day teaching on the social media algorithms, how those work, how they're bogging down your posts to them, and how to get yourself ranked higher within that system. We talk about marketing on social media. We talk about branding your book. We talk about, I messed that up. We talk about marketing your books. We talk about branding your author brand and engaging your fans, having conversations with them, getting them to reliably show up for your events and the different things that you're doing on social media. We talk about how to equip them to get out there and market your book better for you. So I hope you'll join us. It's an amazing group of super supportive people and authors just like you who are in the same place as you. I hope you will join us. It's amazing, and I would love to see you there. I'm K.m. Robinson of K.m. Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms, and I will see you next week with another really great episode of RTTV. I'm so excited for this one. I can't even tell you. So later this week, I will have information about that one, and we will have our on-demand mini trainings coming out a little bit later this week. And just heads up, let me just heads up for you real quick. I do have some of my webinars, my master classes going on right now live. So if you go to blogging.readingtransforms.com or nope, that was not right. bloggingforauthors.readingtransforms.com, that'll kick you over to our newsletters for author masterclass and our blogging for authors masterclass. You are going to love these if you've not taken these yet. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So the blogging for masterclass is going on the next couple of days. It is where I give you 10 tweakable topics that you can use on your blog. So this is topics if you were having trouble writing stuff for your blogs. You want to check this out, because I'm giving you 10 topics that you can tweak and reuse, and we'll never run out of topics. There's some really cool stuff at the end of that you do not want to miss out on. And that is happening in the next couple of days. I hope you'll join me for that. Our newsletters for Authors Masterclass is going to be 5 really important things that you should have in your newsletter and send out every single time you send out a newsletter, so that you do not sound like a sales pitch. If you are one of those people who is treating your newsletter like a commercial for your book, you're doing it wrong, and that's why people are not responding to your emails. That's why they're not opening them up, and that's why you're not getting sales from your newsletter. Now, if you hang out with me, I'm telling you 5 things that are not salesy at all that you need to have in your newsletter every single time that will convince your people to show up, open up your email, read through your email, and then without ever telling them that they need to buy your book, we'll get them to buy their book or your book. So we're going to be talking about the down newsletter stuff at the end of that. I have something that is so incredibly important for you. I can't even tell you. We have several authors who come back to us at the end of this who have told us it has changed their author brand within hours. Like, of course, after they did the bonus stuff, within like 2 hours of sending out their first newsletter after having gone through this training, they had so many responses from their fans. They had such an overwhelming response from the people who were reading their newsletter. They had so much interaction that they just bragged on it. I was so happy, and I know that this can work for you too. So make sure you check that out. Newsletters for authors.readingtransforms.com. And you can jump onto blogging for authors.readingtransforms.com and get everything within the next couple of days. And I really hope to see you there. All right, I'm officially done for today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope that you will take the time to repurpose your content. It saves you time, it saves you energy, and it does not make your brain fritz out when you have to create a ton of stuff all the time because you have to put content out there for your fans. This is so much easier to just repurpose your content, use it in new, unique ways, repack some spins on it, add some, and then reuse it over the course of a week or two so that you have really great, valuable content for your fans, but it is not overwhelming you and weighing you down, and you are getting that out in a simple and easy way that's quick, amazing, and so incredibly engaging for your fans. Take a look at this week. Jump onto our show notes newsletter tomorrow and get that bonus download freebie, and make sure you put this into practice this week, time and effort. Send me a message. Let me know how it's working for you. I would love to give you a shout out. I would love to see what you're doing. So show me. I cannot wait to see it. You guys have a fabulous week and stay inspired.
Hey authors, I know that marketing your book can be so confusing, especially when you don't have a big budget to work with, but I want you to know that there are ways that you can market your book without costing you a cent. I have come up with a list of 20 totally cost-free marketing ideas that you can implement into your marketing strategy and see the same great results that my own authors have seen when they implemented it into their marketing plan. You can get your very own totally free copy of how to market your book creatively and effectively even when you're flat broke if you jump on to www.readingtransforms.com. Up near the top you're going to see a spot where you can download it completely for free. It is my gift to you. I hope that you take this PDF and you use it in your marketing strategy and see incredible results, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. I'm K.m. Robinson of K.m. Robinson Photography and Reading Transforms. Stay inspired. Do you have a new book releasing soon? Do you want to create a unique experience for your fans on your book release day? Do you want to interact with your fans, celebrate your book, and be the talk of the industry? Book launch live events bring all this and more right into your grasp. Rita Award winner and New York Times bestselling author Pin Tip Dunn called it the highlight of my release day. Dying to find out if this is for you? Visit booklaunchlive.readingtransforms.com for more info and see if this is the perfect thing for your release day. Do you ever feel like you're alone in the book world? When the conferences die down and you're sitting in front of your computer alone writing your next manuscript, things can seem very isolated, but they don't have to be. Do you ever feel like social media changes are getting the better of you? Do you feel like you need support that you just don't have? You don't have to be on your own trying to solve the algorithms. Join the Reading Transforms community for a group of authors and book world professionals going through the same things as you. Connect and support one another. Hear from industry leaders on technology changes, and get the latest updates on RTTV, the weekly live broadcast that teaches you to market your books and brand yourself more efficiently and creatively. Get the community and support that you've been longing for, and surround yourself with authors just like you. We'll see you there.